Hi, in this video I'm going to be talking about my Festool multifunction table, also known as the MFT3. The table itself consists of an MFT top with 77 holes. They're 20mm holes spaced at 94mm. I'm sure there's a reason why they're spaced at 94mm. I haven't bothered to look it up. I'm sure you can if you're that interested. They're definitely 20mm though. It's got an aluminium 2040 extrusion all the way around it that's got a slot in that enables you to put clamps in. I'll show you that in a minute. It also comes with this attachment for securing the fence, which also you can angle at a variety of angles to do angled cuts with your track saw. Comes with this plastic fence support that connects to the rail on the side. These two pieces that support the rail for the track saw. And it also comes with this fence which can be placed in that position or flat in that position. You get two Allen keys for adjusting, and you get this flag stop as well for repetitive cuts. The table also comes with an 180mm rail for the track saw. The table is relatively easy to assemble. The legs just fold out, it folds flat. I'll show you how that works. So that's the table assembled. It didn't take long. There's one key thing I haven't done though, and that is I haven't squared the fence to the rail. Now, this brings me on to something I do not like about this table, and I can't for the life of me understand why Festool have developed it in the way they have. I'm sure there's a reason, but I can't understand it. Now, these rows of holes are completely at 90 degrees and they're exactly spaced out really nicely. But they don't seem to, in any way, shape or form, have any relevance to squaring the table. And to square it the traditional way, you get all manner of devices, whether it be one of these, it's actually pretty square. You could use an engineer's square, an angle measurer, measuring gauge, a standard square, and basically you're going to need to keep adjusting the fence and the fence support and making sure that it's square with your rail. Now to me that's a bit of a faff, and what would be most logical is that it was designed to square the fence to the holes somehow and to square the rail to the holes so they're all at 90 degrees and remove any sort of faff. But for whatever reason it hasn't been designed like that. I will make another video on how I square it, and I do use these holes as a reference point and hopefully remove some of the faff. On the topic of squaring, I've even seen people buy squares that are like over £100 just to square up the fence against this table, and I really can't understand why you'd do that. So the hassle of squaring it up is the first thing I don't like. The second thing I don't like about it is the cost. It is really, really expensive for what it is. I think I paid £625 for this table, and that was the cheapest I could find it. You can pay just over £500 and you get it without the rail, without the fence attachment, literally just the folding table and the MDF top, but still that's I think it's about £529 if you want one of those. The other thing I don't like about it is very heavy. It weighs 28 kilos, which is about 65 pounds, I believe. So it is pretty heavy. I mean, luckily I'm a bit of a lump and moving it around isn't too much hassle, but if you're lugging it in and out of a van all day, every day, I think you're gonna have pretty big shoulders from doing it. So it is heavy, but with that, it is quite sturdy. However, one thing I would add is it's not really sturdy enough to be giving it some real abuse with hand tools. I think it's very much designed for use with power tools and maybe gently with hand tools, but if you proper give it some, it is going to move around, and this is fully leveled up, so just bear that in mind. Things I do like about it are it does make cutting small sheets very, very simple indeed. The table size is 1157 by 773 millimeters, so you can cut some pretty big sheets on here. For example, a kitchen worktop, a 600 depth kitchen worktop you could easily get on here. The way I use it is I just put my workpiece on, align it to the fence, lock the rail on top. You can, because it's height adjustable, you can set it to the exact height, depth, the exact thickness of the workpiece. Put it on there. What it does give you is a really nice cut edge on both sides, because the table acts as a sacrificial workpiece. On the underside you can see the cut line, so you've got a nice cut on both sides. And because I squared the fence up to the rail, you've got a completely square cut. Yeah, that's bang on square. So that's the main benefit of this table, is the ability to make repetitive, accurate cuts that are square. The other thing I really like about this table is the amount of functions it has and what you can do with it, particularly if you've got some clamps like these that either fit in the holes or fit in the extrusions on the side. I like the fact it folds up easily, and also because of the way it's built, it's got little rubber feet under here. You can use it in a workshop environment if you put it on a raised platform. The table itself is already 900 millimeters high, so it's a nice work height. So if you built yourself a little trolley or a raised platform, you can sit the multifunction table on top of it and use it in your workshop quite easily, and it'll be really sturdy as well if you do that. I am going to make myself a trolley at some point for this to sit on, and underneath it I'll have storage for the track saw, storage for all the accessories I've got, etc. And that should really enhance the use of the table in my workshop. The other thing this table is particularly handy for is if you need to work on a workpiece, you can use the holes, clamp your material to it, and that's really sturdy, and you can drill it, you can do whatever you want with it. And if you wanted to position a workpiece vertically, you can just get your clamp, crank your clamp up, and that's holding it really steady. The other thing I like to do is I get two clamps, put the workpiece in, a square on it, get it completely square at the top of the table, crank it up, and then what you can do, you can get your router, and it means you can route on the end of the workpiece, keeping it flush with the table, and it gives it a lot more stability. Because of the multitude of uses of the table, there's all manner of different accessories you can get from different suppliers and manufacturers. You've got cam clamps here that you can use to lock pieces vertically. I'll talk about these in another video. You've got bench dogs that you can get from various different suppliers. Again, I'm going to do a video on some of those. You've got your Festool ratchet clamps, which are really good if a little bit pricey. As you know, that's a bit of a bugbear of mine about Festool equipment. I did manage to pick these up on a Amazon deal and got them for about £30, which is incredibly cheap for Festool. There's another brand here, which, as you can see, pretty much identical, and if you don't get these on a Festool deal, these are much cheaper and equally as good in my opinion. You've got the standard screw clamps. As you can see, these aren't Festool. I got a pair of these for about £14, which compared to the Festool ones is a lot cheaper. These are just as good, and if you don't want to splash out on the ratchet ones, they're a little bit more fiddly, but they do a good job as well. One other niggle I had about the table was that there was a fair bit of side to slide slop on the rail when it was on the little lug here. So what I've actually done, following recommendations, is I've bought something called a Slop Stop, which sits in the rail and it provides a far more snug fit than the standard aluminium. Now what you can see here is where it has started to wear away, and as that gets worse, traditionally you get more slop in the rail. As I said, this is called a Slop Stop. I had to get it sent over from America. For what it is, it was really expensive. It was about £20 for a bit of nylon, but it's well made and it does the job. And once you close the rail down, there's no side-to-side play. So in summary, my overall thoughts about this table are, it is expensive, but it is useful. I think it's worth buying if you are planning on using it as a mobile table. If you're not going to be moving it between locations, I think you're going to be far better off just buying one of these MDF tops or making one yourself using the variety of systems that are available, and basically screwing it to a worktop or workbench of your choice. You can buy the 2040 extrusions with the slots on as well, so you could probably make it equally as practical in your own workshop. You can also buy fences that will sit in these holes. Keep an eye out for some more videos coming using this MFT. I'm going to do a video on how I square it up. I'll do a video reviewing some of the accessories I've got. All the accessories, the MFT, etc. that I have, I've bought them with my own money. No one has sponsored me or provided me anything free of charge. So the reviews are completely impartial, and the reviews that I'm going to do will be completely impartial. So hopefully you'll find them interesting and useful. That's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you again soon.